Welcome back to Cover Your Assets. Todd Booker, Craig Nestor, and also Derek Walgrave. You can join us too now or after the show at 855-835-8500. That's 855-835-8500. And really, our topic today is the CYA way, the Cover Your Assets way. Team of really skilled experts in a lot of areas that, quite frankly, Derek, we can't really move forward and expect to prosper anymore without some great advice.
That's exactly right. And I think that was an important message that we ended this last segment on is, we're trying to help you. We're trying to help you take on the right decisions, and make the right decisions. Because
not just get a commission. Are you sure?
No, absolutely not. And that's an important point, because we talk about this with clients that come in, with our short sale stuff, and it's like, well, what's your, success rate? And we have a high success rate. Well, one of the reasons why is we don't throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. We're not interested in that. We're not interested in saying, you need to do a short sale. That's not our job, and that's not what we do, which is part of the reason why we're successful in our short sales. But Heidi, you touched on something that was really important, and it's, people come to us as a group, and they want help. They want a plan, and they want positive things, because look, you can be in this market and you can feel good about owning a house. You
really?
Can. Yeah, you can. And you can feel good about, your current situation, and there are strategies, and you've touched on those strategies. But you had touched on an important aspect on wanting to help clients, and when they come into you, just explain.
Just taking the load off. We all deal with life, and sometimes that load gets really, really heavy. And then you have phone calls, and then you don't know what you're going to do, and then you want to minimize, your monthly payments, and you want to save money, and what should I do next? And with the team of experts that we have, I don't want to, put the onus on everybody as far as how many years that we have of experience, but there's a lot of experience here. And we are experts in every field that we direct in. And, I had a lady in my office yesterday, and she never thought she was going to be able to buy a home again because she had a short sale in her past. And she came to me and she said, I just want to let you know that you helped my dream come true. She didn't have, at this day and age, she didn't have any credit. She had no credit scores, no trade lines, and there's programs out there. She didn't think that she was able to do that, but she's purchasing a home and it's closing next month. And she said, you're able to fulfill, this is my dream, is to own a home. And, we were able to fulfill that. So it's just coming out and asking, even though you think there's a wall in front of you, just ask.
I think there's a widespread assumption, I know it's around the Twin Cities, but nationwide, that the American dream of home ownership really kind of turned into the American nightmare. Right. And I think one of the important missions of this show and of each and every one of these experts here is just to say that's not so, Derek.
Yeah, look, I'm a realtor. So you can look at me and say,
okay.
well, yeah, right. But, you can look at me and say, well, yeah, but all you really want to do is, sell me a home, or help me buy a home, or whatever, sell my home, and that's not the case. We don't. My business is based off of referrals, and if I'm not setting people up for successful home owning or selling their home, or putting them in a situation where maybe they don't need to sell home,
right.
I'm out.
Right.
I'm out. So my strategy, and as a group, that's what we are. We're strategists.
Right.
You come to us, and your strategy might not be to sell your home or to buy a home. Or it might not be to do a foreclosure or bankruptcy.
Just because somebody at your jobs told you and chirped in your ear and said, this is what you should do, let us help you figure it out and strategize for you.
And that's where Todd comes in.
Correct.
That's the really neat thing about Todd is he's a strategist. He's going to give you the real scenario. This is what you need to do, and this is how you need to do it, and this is how your family is going to be set up the best way. And I think when we talk about this group, that's what's really, really neat about this is you're not coming to a realtor, or a finance person or a mortgage company. You're going to a group that's going to help you make the right decision.
One of the most important things that anybody needs to understand about people who are in an industry is that you do not want to deal with the people who do not succeed in that industry, because they have to be motivated by money because they're starving and they need their next meal. Those people are put in a compromised position, and they have to say whatever they have to say to get that commission. When people are successful in an industry, yes, they want your business. Yes, they care about you as a client, but you are not their one and only client, and consequently, they can give you information that is not going to sway you towards them getting a commission, because they know they've got enough other clients there that they don't need any one in particular at any one time. So you get a much more balanced approach to any conversation you have with this person. That's something that's lost on people, apparently. Mm-hmm. They look at somebody who's enormously successful and they assume, well, they're so successful, I'd rather deal with somebody who's, not quite so successful and really cares about my business. Yeah, they really care about your business. They care about it so much that if they don't get your commission, they're not going to be able to make their own house payment. How can they not be motivated by the commission?
Survival.
Exactly. So when you've got an agent who sells 200 houses in a year, you know what? That person's going to tell you the accurate information, because yes, they want your business, but they don't need your business to make their house payment, and so they can give you that information. Think about the contrast.
That's good.
It's a big contrast. And I think you all look at it, Craig, and you can affirm this for me, is that you are going to send that client to the right person, knowing that it's going to come back around in some form. The best referrals that you can ever get are people that had killer results, right, Craig?
Well, we want to ask the family is, what's next? That kind of gets stepped over. Sometimes it's, should I short sell? Should I loan money? Should I stay? Should I buy? Well, what's the goal of the family? What are you trying to get to? That sometimes determines the vehicle that we use to get there. It becomes then a greaseboard conversation of math and opportunities and strategies and tactics. What is it you want to get to? Let's look at the playing field today and let's build that course of action. If you come in with a perceived course of action, or you go to a professional who can only deliver one course of action, even if it's well-meaning and tactically done correct, may not be what's best to get your family where you want it to go. At the end of the day, we have to look a little bit longer term and bring in people that will help us with that decision and also be able to execute this decision.
That's a big deal.
A grand strategy overall. And I don't do I don't do real estate. I don't do mortgages. I'm not in the investment planning business, at least not anymore. And so I look at every element. And so surrounding yourself with the best people who can do a phenomenal job. When a person comes to see me, they tell me what they want to do. I tell them precisely how to go about doing it. And then when they say, this is what I want to do, I send them to the best people who can help them succeed in that endeavor. It's as simple as that. I have no axe to grind. I don't care what they think. I'm going to tell them the way it works. And then they do that. And they don't have to dial and smile in the phone book to try to find somebody and find out later that person wasn't the right person. I send them to the people who are the best.
It's been interesting learning from the three of you and the stories that you tell, because I think a lot of people that are in a compromised position with their real estate or their finances, maybe they're in a lot of debt and they really could use the strategy. They're maybe afraid, maybe they're ashamed and all of that. And what they don't realize is there's whiteboards for them too, and there really is a path out. And you guys, it just depends on which services you need.
Real estate as a wealth building vehicle is back. There's going to be an opportunity here that we haven't seen before. Regardless of where you're at, it's not too late. If you're in a tough spot, let's get you to a soft landing, allow you to lick your wounds and rebuild. We can do that in a relatively short period of time while there's still a window for you to move your family forward. Some families are there right now. They have not missed a payment. They feel they're upside down. They feel that they're carrying the weight of the entire economy. They're bailing out automakers. They're bailing out banks. They're taking care of their neighbor's loan modification. What about me? I'm carrying this. And there's options for
And they're
him.
burning assets in the process every month. They're utilizing resources to make those payments. And they know that they're coming to the end of the road. They haven't missed a payment yet, but they see the rocks coming up at them. And they don't know what to do other than just going on making their payments until inevitably they completely run out of money, and all the options that were available to them 6 months ago are now gone. There's the issue. So they've got to take action before anything goes wrong. And if they're in a position where they want to build net worth in this situation, they have to align themselves with the people who can position them to be able to finance. It's worth talking about the people who in a story succeed because they understand where they are. They're able to position themselves in a certain way and can take advantage of the new now, as Craig likes to call it. But those who just walk in and want to throw stuff on a desk and say, do I qualify for a loan? Those people are going to walk away frustrated.
Yeah.
People know some of the world's, the country's wealthiest individuals and corporations made huge economic strides during recessionary type economies. We are in recession, depression 2.0. There will be a tremendous number of millionaires created in the next 15 years. What's your plan? Regardless of where you're at, How are you going to seize this moment? Jobs aren't coming back. We need to access wealth. There's a way to do it. It's still in real estate, always has been. Got a little foggy for a little bit while the banker shook things around, but we're still here and can help the individual family.
Yeah, and it's really interesting because, Craig, for your part of the Cover Your Assets team, you spent a great deal of time studying what got us into this situation, and you can help individual families come out. Todd Brooker, unbiased advice, fantastic work with everyone, and Derek Walgrave, along with his brother Jason, short sale and investment property strategist. Reach out, speak up. The Cover Your Assets team is here for you to give you something to look forward to. It's a big deal. 855-835-8500. That's 855-835-8500. Start out with us online, guys. CoverYourAssets21.com and get your free copy of the Financial Crisis Bible. This has been Cover Your Assets, Financial Tactics for the 21st Century. We'll be back next week.
We'll be